Bonjour. I reside in the great kingdom of Burgundy, located in the west of the Frank hexagon. I live in roughly the 1420s as a peasant working in a vineyard. My Lord wants me to detail a day in my life for you. There are many various aspects that define our culture here in Burgundy. I will be discussing and focusing on the language, cuisine, wine culture, employment, religion, and the war that is occurring at this time. I speak a very early version of French, called Old French. This variety is a combination of Roman dialects as well as Gallic features. Most of the population here in French Hexagon speak Old French. However, a growing number of people are coming up with something called Middle French. Not sure why they added the middle, but hey, I get paid to maintain grapes, so it beats me. That leads me to my next element of the culture here in Burgundy. A large number of peasants here work on vineyards that are located on monasteries. At the vineyard, I am tasked with foraging large amounts of grapes. With these grapes, I dump them into large barrels with a funnel towards the bottom. After, I hop into the barrel on top of the grapes and stomp on them to release their juice. Since the vineyards are on church lands, I am basically employed by the church and have to pay a tax to them because they let us work on the vineyards. This tax, called a tithe, is usually about 10% of what you earn in an entire year. The church then uses this to throw celebrations and hold other religious events. Due to our large number of vineyards, our kingdom has a significant wine culture within our society. I previously mentioned that most peasants, like myself, are employed to work on such vineyards. The easy-to-grow grapes are a perfect substitution for water, as mass amounts of clean water is hard to come by. Wine is sold by merchants in the market. In fact, it has become such a common product that one of the nearby nobles has decreed that only the highest quality grape varieties must be used if one were to sell wine. This has led to an increase in high-quality drinks throughout the kingdom and has started to attract those from all over to come and try Burgundy wines. Our wine may be excellent, but unfortunately for a peasant like me, the meal options are very limited. The diet consists of basic food groups such as dairy, oats, grain, and vegetables. In the morning, I usually make myself a cup of porridge, which is where I use oats and milk to create an oatmeal-like paste. It does not seem like much, but trust me, it's the best breakfast you can get in my line of work. In addition to oats, I regularly consume grains through bread, although I always have to get that arrogant and pesky baker to bake it for me. Most peasants in Burgundy have to get their bread cooked by their local baker or lord, but that does not give the bakers the excuse to be so arrogant. We get it, you can cook bread, but that's not a big deal. On another note, an unusual practice here is to not consume milk as a beverage. Most of the peasants stay clear of it due to its dehydrating effects while working in the vineyards. Unfortunately, I only get to eat meat on special and rare occasions due to its price and supply. Usually for dinner, I travel to the market and purchase vegetables like cabbage and spinach from local vendors. I then cook with these vegetables, creating vegetable soups and purees. Although I like to eat, and you know us here in Burgundy love our wine, I will say nothing can compare to my love for Christ. I am a Roman Catholic, as it is a dominant religion throughout the region. I am expected to be in church about a quarter of the year due to Mass as well as other religious ceremonies and celebrations. The church plays a role in my everyday life as well. I mentioned before that I am employed on their lands and have to pay a tithe. Also, if I were to get married, I'd have to do it at church because marriages can only be held on holy lands. I had this buddy marry his girl in a barn. Now he's got half the clergy in his ear saying he's going to hell just for tying the knot. I would never take that chance. I really am dedicated to trying to reach heaven. I'm even thinking about purchasing an indulgence. These are being sold by the church as a free pass through purgatory. Sure, the indulgence costs a half of my year's work, but hey, that sounds like a pretty good deal to me. All in all, it does not seem bad in Burgundy That is, of course, if you don't mention the 100 Years' War happening at the time. Burgundy just switched its allegiance to the English crown, cutting ties with the Franks to the west. The Duke of Burgundy claims the King of the Franks is illegitimate and is sending peasants like me to fight on the front lines along with English foot soldiers. The war has become very financially beneficial for those peasants who are deemed skillful in combat. They are recruited into mercenary groups who are in turn recruited and paid by the crown to protect their lands. The war and its politics do not have a significant impact on my everyday life. I'm still going to maintain grapes whether they are English or French. I just hope that I don't get killed. In the end, I hope you learn a little bit about my culture and what we hold important to us, the recipes and drinks that unite our society, and the religion that motivates us to continue our days. All a peasant in Burgundy can do is pray for salvation and hope for better tasting wine.